off so I can go grab them really quick.
I need to get some now. How you doing, everybody? Hello. Yeah, no, I don't have an intro. How you doing?
It's
Then
the
I'll get some.
Johnny Show.
We'll see if I get some. They got, I got to do everything extra. I can't do that normal. But I want some that go like this and then like curl around.
I've seen
those
some
big
on
curly-
Etsy and I've seen some on Amazon as well. The horns that curl.
Yeah, like Maleficent kind of.
I've
have
seen
to be
those.
extra.
I was like this close to ordering a pair. I was like, girl, no, you have like 4 pairs of these. Like, stop.
That's true. Johnny has to be extra, so that would be a lot extra.
They got to be out of frame and everything. It's ridiculous. I don't sit center anyway, which bothers people's OCD, but
Don't be OCD in watching us.
No. Especially not me. I'm a Gemini. I change with the wind. So
I'm all wonky because my kittens knocked my laptop off today.
I'm probably because I have you guys sitting on pillows.
See, everything falls around me. I couldn't do that. You have to spend the entire life like this. It's like you don't even notice what you just did here.
Retro Roro breaks stuff all the time. The other 2 kittens never break anything, but I don't know if it's because she's attracted to shiny, breakable things, or if she's klutzy, or if she just plays so hard that she breaks stuff all the time.
I'm gonna start calling it chaos, mayhem, and pandemonium.
Well, she would be pandemonium
because they're just. Well, I don't know so much about little Johnny because he's like always chill.
That's the chaos.
Yeah.
Well, if you saw him with Lucy, he's chaos with Lucy. I mean, they're. I was telling Johnny earlier, they're like tag teaming and chasing each other and swatting at each other and then running the other way and doing it again. And thank you, Adrian. And hello, Adrian.
So I'm making it official. The kitties are now chaos, mayhem, and pandemonium.
It's like the Geico commercials where they have the chaos guy.
Mayhem, the guy.
Mayhem guy.
The kitties are chaos, mayhem, and pandemonium now.
Oh, before I forget, happy birthday to Lori from the Way of Positive Change tomorrow.
She's going to do a live stream. I shall be there as well. So she's going to do a birthday stream. So y'all make sure you tune in. But since we're on that vein, do you have any announcements, anybody?
Just if you want to book a reading, go to jenlintarot.com. There's some openings in December, and then you're moving into January. If you would like to buy a gift card for somebody for a birthday or Christmas or otherwise, there's options on my website where you can buy a Christmas one or a generic one or a happy birthday one. It's a time of year if you want a Christmas card, buy it a little before Christmas. Don't wait till Christmas Day because I have to do some stuff before the email goes out. It takes about 48 hours for the email to go out. If you want them to get it on time by Christmas, do it a little bit before Christmas.
Any GTs planned, madam? Or any that you've been wanting to do?
I don't even know what's going on. To be honest with you, I do see that I screwed up my last GT on Kevin McCarthy when I said he's not going to be speaker. Well, they won the House by a thin margin. So
is he speaker yet?
That vote they did, I found out, Becca, that was a preliminary sort of poll vote. That's not official. They do the official vote January 3rd after everybody's sworn in. So he's not officially speaker yet.
Well, we'll see because I know he's got problems with the crazies, which is what 35 people in his caucus that are the nutsos. So I don't know anything. And plus next week we're getting ready to get into the holidays for Thanksgiving. So we'll see.
This week.
I would say top of the list, if you get time or when you have time, do the new special counsel, Jack Smith.
Okay. I don't even know who that is, but okay.
We'll be doing some readings tonight on him. We'll talk more about him, but so maybe timing, we could see a little bit more about how his timing's going to work out.
Okay, because yeah, we'll see. Because work's going to be busy while I'm trying to crunch everything before Thursday and Friday. A lot of people are taking off work for Friday, so I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to kind of crunch everything. So we'll see. I'm not promising anything. We'll just see.
Yesterday, Joe Biden's granddaughter got married at the White House. Her dress was stunningly beautiful, and the pictures were so sweet with Grandma and Grandpa hugging her, actually family contact, not like
Or swatting people away like Melania.
And I'm sure he wasn't DJing at his daughter's wedding or granddaughter's wedding.
Goodness. I danced to a Joe Biden playlist, I think. Well, Trump tell me the YMCA is not a bad song. Lord Jesus.
Only when Trump.
Song just. If you go to Hogarth's Astrology, I did 2 streams over there. I did one for their Saturday stream that they do weekly. And then I did a Vedic astrology chart. He read my chart on his channel as well.
That was really interesting for me to watch because I know more about Western astrology. I know very little. So he's really thorough about saying, this is the house, this is what that house is, and here's what you've got in it. I found it very interesting and informative because he explained it so well to us that don't understand Vedic astrology at all.
At all.
At all.
And as I told him too, nothing he said was wrong or out of the ordinary. So definitely go check it out. Like I said, we did also, me, Ganga, and Hogarth did a reading or stream.
Still.
Tomorrow, Lori will be live at 3 p.m. Eastern for her birthday. So you'll make sure you go over there, say happy birthday to our Lori from the Way Up Positive Changes.
I usually pop up sometime on Thanksgiving, like I do on Christmas Live. So I don't have a set time, but watch for that. Watch my community tab. Oh, I want to say something because people are commenting in the comments, and it's confusing if you don't use YouTube a lot. They have added a new tab separating our regular videos from live videos. So somebody asked me, because all they could see were all the cat videos, right, that I upload. They're like, where'd all your videos go? And I'm like, they're under the live tab because all the political readings are live ones. So if you get confused and you're trying to find videos, make sure you're looking at the live tab for like Sunday night ones, and you're looking under the regular videos for uploaded ones.
It'll say home videos live, so you have to go to the live tab to see the live streams. Everything's not in one place anymore because that would have been simple, but
we'll have to post about it on our community tab so people that rewatch our Sunday nights on Monday know how to find it.
And your community tabs expire after 24 hours. And so they only stay there unless, now if you go to the community tab, all the community tabs that I posted about Hogarth Street and stuff, those are gone. If you share somebody's tab, it'll stay there forever. So you see Red Lentil Healing from 2 weeks ago, Trillium Tarot from 2 weeks ago, but none of mine from just yesterday. And so if you share it, it'll stay. If you originate the post, it goes away. YouTube. So that's all I got. Y'all ready? Let's actually not start with Jack Smith. We'll start with Joe Biden. I did this reading already, but I'm going to do it again since we have got more results and numbers. What is going to be the relationship between Joe Biden and the House of Representatives?
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Because they want impeachment and Hunter Biden and all this goofiness. So what's going to be the relationship?
McCarthy's already saying if he's speaker, he's going to kick Schiff and 2 other people off committees. I can't remember who it was now.
Nothing says let's do what's best for America, then screw it.
It won't matter any Democrat he kicks off. At least our guys are all on the same page. Your party is falling apart, dude.
Can you imagine the hearings that we're going to have on Hunter Biden's laptop? For the next 2 years, it'll be hearings on Hunter Biden's laptop.
Our people are all intelligent and don't buy into conspiracy theories. So you have one of anybody, they're all going to be good. I get there'll be an image of looking like they're moving forward and working together and talking about things. But, Trump, and the people that drink the Kool-Aid are going to block anything and everything they can. There'll be, questions that go nowhere, and it's them. So what's going to happen? Crap. Same old crap.
I'm using the little tiles, Johnny. So I got the Clover, Bear, Mountain, Storks, and Crossroads blockages, delays, obstructions. Something about some sort of financial decision to raise something financial that gets blocked. Eventually it passes, but it's like partisan, and it'll be very partisan with a lot of blockages. Very opportunistic for those in power. Opportunity for the power to obstruct, delay, and then changes, and very, very partisan. They'll make it even more partisan. But there's something here about a debt, finances that they block.
They were talking about trying to push a vote through to raise the debt ceiling before January 3rd while they can do it. So,
well, I hope so.
Because they don't want government shutdowns because they don't pass budgets and stuff.
Okay. Well, let's hope
it's
there's not another budgetary financial decision that comes along, because these people it's just theater for them. They don't realize that you're screwing with people's lives.
Yeah. All the government employees' lives and everything. It's like they don't care.
Yeah, I get the 8 of Cups and the 4 Swords are the first 2 cards. They're not going to do anything. They're going to, just like Becca said, obstruct this. This is why our government doesn't work, because the people in it don't work. And it's not just them, it's the people who vote for them. And so they're the symptoms of the deeper problem, but they're there, and he's going to have to abandon a few things. Now, I do have my Democrat card, and there is some opportunity for something to advance with their numbers alone, which means he may have some Republican defectors or people who didn't vote or something of that nature. So something there has got a really good opportunity. He is in the environment. There's also something progressing legally too within, so they're going to probably come after him for Hunter and all that other stuff. So there's some legal things here too that they're going to get on some sort of agenda. I don't think it's impeachment, even though that's like the back talk back there, but I think it's more probably Hunter, but we'll see. In the word of warning, Republican card. This is my Democrat card, this is my Republican card. So word of warning is the Republicans, you're not going to get anything done with them, but I think he knows that already. Word of solace is the 8 of Cups, though. So there may be some new leadership within the House. So we're going to talk about that, too, since Nancy has stepped down from the leadership role. And so there may be a new person here who brings in that opportunity within the Democrats. And so there's some success. It ends in the sun. So there's some agenda that gets passed through. They may start eating each other, and then that is the opportunity you need to get something done. But there in the beginning, especially for maybe a year, you're not going to get anything done with them.
Yeah,
But
so when you get to the election year and they need something to talk about with their constituents, they might do something. You triggered a follow-up question for me, Johnny. Will any of the Republicans defect and vote with the Dems, even if it's just a small handful that are tired of the Marjorie Taylor Greene clan, the crazy clan? Will any of the more traditional Republicans start to break a little bit? Will we see handfuls of them voting with the Dems?
okay. Oh, crap. I can't remember the name of these cards at all. And my Amazon order won't go back that far. They're Rider Waite, but it's okay. Okay, they're called Magic Seer Rainbow Tarot Deck, something blah blah blah. I don't know. There. Magic Seer Rainbow Tarot Deck card, something. Type that in.
And this whole situation, they have a very small majority. Small. It's less than double digits.
Right. So if they have a few defectors, it could impact.
And not just that, but then we got an election in another 2 years. So you should have learned off this last midterm, people ain't having your crap, dude. So you're going to piss off America even more. So I'm just saying. But clearly they haven't learned.
That's a part I don't get to is, do you not take the lesson from the experience at all?
No, because they're doubling down on cutting Medicare and nationwide abortion bans. They did not learn.
Yeah.
They're going to die on that hill, and we will gladly torch them.
I'm getting, there's a few that might turn their back occasionally on the Republicans, and isolate themselves a little bit from Republicans if it's for image sake, maybe because of going into election year. I get it's chaos and they're burdened, and there's a few that might transition over every now and then just to manifest something positive. I do get there will be a lot of chaos and fighting verbally in the House, but I also get that there also may be some indictments coming through, legal problems for Republicans. So I get some of them will work together with the House. So that'll be interesting if we get a few defectors here and there.
I get a yes. I got the Lilies, man and woman. So perhaps people from the more traditionally, not the crazy
Boberts, and
because this is the party that has taken over the Republican Party. That's not conservative. That's extremism. That's the Freedom Caucus that went crazy. And I get Lilies. That's a bit more conservative, old school, sort of mature, wise. That wing of the party, there may be some defectors. I get man and woman. I don't know if that's telling me there's two individuals, quite possibly with the Lilies as well, maybe three. I don't know, but I get a yes from the more conservative, traditionally conservative wing.
I get a few here, 3 of Cups, especially if it has something to do with bringing a legal case against Biden, and they will defect from that too. There's also a return to the traditional conservatism with the Four of Pentacles. This is your conservative card holding something back. So there is something here about returning to that with the Judgment card. So
because crazy is working for him.
I think you're going to get some that understand that crazy is not working. That this not on my watch type of energy like this. We're not that party. We blah 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 type of thing.
And it's funny because Aspie in the chat just said that right now there is no representation in the Republican Party for the traditional conservatives. There isn't. It's been taken over by crazies.
And I will say too,
because they're the loudest. That's all we hear.
Traditional conservatives should have done more in the beginning. Right now, what they're trying to do is not take the water out of the boat because we're sinking. Now they're trying to get the boat off the bottom. This is a whole different. We've already sunk. It like literally when you had your Trump boat parade.
What an omen that was.
The Titanic Trump Titanic parade.
Oh Lord, a little science would have prevented all that anyway. But it's like they're trying to save it now from the bottom of the lake, and the Pences and the Bushes and all those people that retired instead of trying to stay in and fight and at least be the voice. You don't have to win your race. You just need to be a person that stood on your principle when it mattered. Like the Kinzinger, like even a little bit of the Cheney, the people who said, you know what, no, this in particular thing I cannot do. And so like Kinzinger put his whole career on the line for this. And so those people should have done what he did. And go for the race. Yeah, you're going to lose. Okay, but at least you knew where I stood. And I didn't.
Kinzinger needs to go have a talk with Mike Pence, who he worked for at one time. Pence is now saying, oh, DOJ shouldn't have appointed that special counsel, on Trump's cases, and they shouldn't indict Trump for January 6th.
Pence was saying that the committee has no right to his testimony. I was like, excuse me?
It's like, I hope your book bombs, and that's probably going to be your only retirement fund you're going to get.
On the fly that landed on his head.
Yeah.
I hope he's like yawning and it flies into his mouth and he choked on it.
Pick up some bacteria from some fly.
Cruz ate it already.
For entertainment purposes, only YouTube.
So let's look at Biden's relationship with the Senate. See.
I do want Warnock to win, but part of me is kind of like, wouldn't it be funny to have Walker in the Senate getting up there making speeches and talking about vampires and werewolves in the Senate floor?
Let him run the RNC. We don't need
they will deserve everything that comes out of his mouth. Oh, there's Ray. Hey, sweetie. He'll have a lot of support from them when all the legal burdens come down on Trump and everything. So they'll have his back. during that kind of chaotic time where, the Trump administration in general starts getting their comeuppance. During the transition, I get they're quite secure. And I get it, even in the Senate, there may be some working across the aisle. But there will be problems that they'll have to talk through. And some of it may have to do with money. There may be something they're working on. Trying to get some of the corruption out of the money behind politics is what it looks like. So, like the Sheldon White House agenda.
I got the bird, snake, fish, key, and clouds. He's going to have the majority, but he's going to have problems because there's a speaker that's a liar or a speaker that's trouble. And we know that's not Mitch McConnell. That's because you know how the stuff goes through the House and then it goes to the Senate. So all the stuff the House may be trying to push is what causes problems because it says there's a speaker that lies or is problematic that has the majority with the fish and then significant trouble. So he'll hold the majority in the Senate, but there's someone that's a speaker that's going to cause him problems. So, and then I pulled two more to get clarification. It was Book and Crossroads. There's several projects that need to be decided or they're going to need to be split, perhaps more partisan. But the negotiations with the majority are going to be extremely problematic with birds, fish, and clouds. And then snake, mirrors, keys. So, but the trouble, some of the trouble is overcome, but it's still significant problems because of a speaker. So I don't know if that's, we don't know if it's Kevin McCarthy, whoever the next speaker is, there's going to be problems as it goes up the chain, if that makes sense.
I don't think that he's going to be a lame duck president for the next 2 years, but he does have a lot of obstruction, like they've been saying, like Jen and Beck have been saying, though. But I do think he gets some things through. But it starts with the Three of Swords. This is from your own side. Betrayal does not come from thy enemies. And so he may have the usual suspects, especially around Six of Pentacles as charity, so giving out something. So this may have something to do with student loan debt or something of that nature, something that he needs to pass through the Senate, something as far as money goes. But this is payments, so it could be anything to do with finance that needs to go through the Senate. There could be some obstruction from his own side there. The Seven of Pentacles and the Sun, he does have some success with investments and something to do with agriculture or something of that nature too. So he does get some things through. So he's not completely just cut off at the heels here. But there's a lot that it just takes too much effort, too much time. The Four of Cups, it's just, you just have to accept where we are. A lot of things are just not going to work. Word of warning is the Eight of Pentacles because somebody's just not going to get things done. There's a lot of obstruction. He's defending a lot. The Seven of Wands. Now, this is the Word of Solace, the good news card. So he does have a higher ground because he will have a majority, or he'll at least have the Kamala Harris majority if need be. So there is something here about him being on the higher ground. And again, it ends like the last read with the Sun. It ends in success. This one ends in the Four of Wands. So he got some success again. We'll see. But they are definitely going to try to make this very, very hard. But for some reason or another, it ends in success for him.
Johnny.
He's got good prayer warriors or something.
Johnny,
Yes.
can I please ask if he will be a lame duck president for the next 2 years?
Yeah, I got my Kamala Harris card on the bottom. I do get like there's some Republicans that are going to have to walk away. And I think this, whether it's in the House or the Senate, I think it's because of legal issues. They'll block until then. But I get that'll be like a new start once something happens with some of the Republicans in Congress, and they get down to work, and I get like steady work, and he's able to push some things through, and we'll have a little bit of enough power to try to get it through. It'll be a little bit chaotic at times, but he gets strength, judgment, and the victory card. There's going to be some isolation with a bunch of legal problems. So I think we're going to have some members of Congress that lose out, that going to have some regrets, that have to go. That may be a question when we get to Jack Smith. Will he indict any members of Congress, or recommend indicting any members of Congress? He doesn't actually do the indictments. He does the recommendations, I think.
Is he going to be a lame duck president? I got the snake, the letter, and the tree. So that he might get some trash bills. Like
having to muddy him up a little to get him through.
Yeah, but it ends with trees, so that's growth. That's something that's very solid
and stable.
So there's something here about trash bills. So
he may have to give a little to get what he wants.
Or having to do things that are considered a betrayal. You see what I'm saying? Maybe like some sort of a compromise. I don't know, but I don't like that reading. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
It starts with obstruction for me. 2 of Swords, first card. And there is, again, I think there's someone from the other side, though. I get the 6 of Cups and the 8 of Swords. There's some sort of past mentality type thing that is limiting what it is that he can do. So there is still a lot of obstruction. But again, the Knight of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles. Someone is trying to show a good face that they can work with the president or work with the other side or something like that. Because mind you, too, this is not in the reading. This is just what I kind of think. I think, too, since our politics are always exhausting because they run for president for 2 years. DeSantis is running already. And that means Trump is running already, which means Biden is running already. And so it's going to go on for 2 whole stinking years. There is someone, though, who is trying to show face that we're no longer the MAGA party, that we may be trying to turn back into the traditional GOP, and that we can work across the aisle, and we're not shouting each other down. We're not a Russian talking point MTG. So there may be someone here who is trying to show good image and then sow some good seeds type thing. It's all still fake, but I think there's someone who is trying to show the traditional GOP to the United States and say, hey, we're not so bad.
We're not all nut jobs.
Yes.
Maybe like a Mitt Romney or something, I think that's the only person left that, not saying that he's a decent Republican, but he's not crazy like the other people.
At least you could talk to him. He's still a thief and a piece of garbage, but you can talk to him without him doing the Russian talking point. The Mormon talking point, maybe, but not the Russian.
Okay. My hairstylist came back from maternity leave, so I got my hair cut quite short. I feel like my forehead grew about 5 inches. Do I look like Matt Gaetz now? I feel like I got a Matt Gaetz forehead now.
You need to have your lips like this and nothing but a row of teeth.
I can't help you. My hairline always started back here, so I can't. It's not running from my face. It's been back there.
Dang, maybe I should have cut bangs or something. I feel like my forehead's like, or maybe it's just shiny and I should have powdered it more. I digress. Sorry.
There's 2 more questions on these people, the House and the stuff. Impeachment, can we look at the impeachment efforts? Are they going to go through with this? I mean, he's not going to be impeached.
Impeaching Biden every week, as
Yes.
MTG wants to do. Want a step?
How far are they going to get with this?
Oh, Chinese face reading says people with big foreheads are incredibly smart, Jen. Thank you, Greta. What happened to Matt Gates? See, what's true for one is not always true for the other.
Maybe his forehead's not big. Maybe his face is small. That's
Okay, now I've forgotten the question.
Impeachment efforts. How far would they get?
Somebody else go first. I'm still shuffling. I'm getting tickled.
I get the dog, the heart, and the stork. There are some bootlickers and loyalists that would love nothing more than to throw him out. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene's, Matt Gaetz, Paul Gosar's, that crowd. Which, you know, here's the thing. Going back to regular citizenry, you know, like when you report something at work, there's laws against retaliatory fighting or firing. Apparently, that doesn't apply in Congress either, because Trump was impeached twice. He should have been impeached more than twice if you count the emoluments clause and every other crime he committed blatantly. But this would be absolutely retaliatory. And in this politics, they think it's a genius idea and perfectly acceptable. Like,
yeah, I get the little liars. You know, those are the ones that are going to try to take an action. You know, the MTGs, the narcissist ones, trying to crash everything for Biden. You know, and getting away with it. But I get there'll be a transition. We'll see a shift, because I think corporate sponsors are going to be like, we don't want you standing for that with the 2022 or 2024 elections coming. You need supporters. I think we'll see a shift. Like, they may start that way, but I think they're going to get a talking to about their donations and trying to get them to look like they're on a little bit more of a moral high ground instead of digging up past crap.
What drives me nuts too, to Becca's point, is the stuff they do, you can't do anywhere else. You can't do that in Walmart. You can't behave that way.
if you behaved in the workplace like Marjorie Taylor Greene, you would have been out on your ass the first
A
day.
long time ago.
Like, I don't understand.
Harassing coworkers, you would be out on your ass so fast. Yet it's totally acceptable.
Chasing minors down the hallways of Congress, you know, and running your mouth, they would have been out.
Anyhow, there's the Hermit and the Ten of Pentacles. This will be a 2-year investigation, pretty much. They just want it to stay in the headlines that they're investigating Biden for, they're investigating Biden for, they're investigating Biden for. So I think it's more of that here with the King of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is just supposed to worry him, but he's getting what he wants. He's still sits pretty. This has nothing to do with anything he's done. This is retaliatory, because meanwhile, the person you should have went after should have been like a Nancy Pelosi or something. You should have tried to. But anyway, because she's the one who impeached him twice. Knight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. It's just an attack, and it's going to be persistent. So
I just saw the comment from Jace Harnage. It went up. Didn't get anymore, but yeah, that's why. Yes, Jace, that's why I call them the Cheeto herpes, because they all got it now. Cheeto herpes. They're not.
There's no monostat for that herpes.
There's no monostat. Uncurable. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
You're orange forever. You can't rub that off.
One chip with no cream.
Oh, Betty.
Hunter Biden. Will they yield anything from their constant probe of Hunter Biden?
You know, it's funny that if they start, or asking Democrats to testify and stuff, the funny thing is they'll cooperate. They'll go and talk. Now, they start pressuring Garland about the special counsel. He's not going to tell him anything during an investigation. He knows how to shut his mouth. Hillary Clinton, how many hours did she sit there testifying over and over?
And then the one guy, Trey Gowdy, let out the truth and said, yeah, we just did this to affect the elections coming up. So they admitted it. They admitted it. That it was all political theater to damage
between her emails and Benghazi, like thousands of hours she testified and never found anything. But not one of these Republicans will sit down and testify about January 6th.
And speaking of Cheeto herpes, Lucky Girl had sent me an email. I guess Jimmy Kimmel had done a show and he was calling Trump herpes. he's like herpes. I'm like, that's what I said.
Jimmy Kimmel's watching us and taking taking credit on Becca's jokes.
Oh Lord.
Go for it, Republicans. Go for it. It's like, they should lay low around Hunter Biden. I get they'll try to stir up a lot of attention around Hunter, in the name of justice and everything, and create anxiety around it. But I get it'll be all wrapped up. And, all they're trying to tear everything apart. The Republicans are the ones that are going to have to walk away. They're going to have to give up and walk away. They're stuck with their little lies. And I get with Hunter, like, go ahead and do it because it changes everything and it shows him in a very strong image. Thank you, Uma. Do it. Do it.
I get a power grab from the house. It's bouquet, house, and bear. Yes, something about financial gifts to the house, financial gifts to the family, but it's also a power grab from the house. So, and I asked, will they seek to indict Hunter Biden? So perhaps make a referral or whatever, because the house cannot indict him.
Right.
I had a yes over something financial, but it's a power grab from the house. So
yeah, like they're not going to be able to prove anything.
Well, that's what they've been screaming for the past 6 years.
You see how much proof they've given on election interference. It's going to be the same thing with this laptop.
They should have been dragging these clowns from ninja warriors or whatever they were that took the machines in Arizona. They should be dragging their asses into Congress.
Yeah,
because all the taxpayers have to pay for every single one of those machines that they broke.
Just like we're going to have to pay for them to investigate Hunter Biden and stuff. That's all going to be a waste of taxpayer money. Do it. It's going to make them look stupider for 2024.
Trillium Tarot, it's like living under Godzilla. That's what it's like. Just so weird. She gets on my nerves. But she better be lucky assault and battery is not legal. Anyway, Page of Cups and the Six of Wands. They're going to find something here financial. It has something to do with American financials too, or financials that has something to do with America. This is usually a card for seeded money or taxes or something of that nature too. But there's money that was either invested into him or there was some sort of tax that he did pay between countries or something like that. Mind you, all of this is surface. Nine of Cups, none of this. They don't need to put Hunter Biden in jail. They need a bad news story about the Biden family. Mind you, they're not going after Hunter Biden. They're going after Joe Biden. They couldn't give a crap about Hunter Biden. They trying to hurt Joe Biden. And so that's all this is for. But the word of warning is the death card. This causes a change that they're not anticipating, though. And I think what this does is rally possibly the left even more. So this is going to have an unintended consequence, but this is also just something to run out the time with. The Wheel of Fortune. Something is going to materialize financially. But like I said, with the Nine of Cups, this is more of a wishful thinking. This is more of a surface issue. This is not something they're going to put him in jail for. This is something that is just going to serve the need that they have to look a certain way.
I mean, if we're going to talk about taxes, let's bring out the orange clown, okay? Who's still fighting to not have the House look at his taxes.
Let's look at all the Republicans' taxes.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's more fraud.
So a slight shift, speaking of taxes though, Donald Trump, the gift that keeps on giving for them.
Crapping.
Which deck is this? I don't know. I have no idea. I know the name every time somebody asks me and then I forget. Tres Leche, do you know the name of this deck? Because I told it to you because you asked me twice and now I don't know again. Something Spirit Within.
But you tell somebody it's take it out of your mind.
I don't keep the boxes and I don't ever care. Donald Trump announced that he was going to run, walk, skip, hop, and jump for president.
And hopefully drown.
As he locked everybody in the room and wouldn't let people leave, which is against fire codes, by the way.
Yeah. Just break another law, though. But here's my question. Because they didn't do it the first time, because they didn't need to. They didn't do it the second time, and they should have. Should the GOP take him seriously right now? Because they know he's a blowhard, but should they be taking him seriously? Because when he ran against Obama, there was no, I mean, Jesus couldn't beat Obama because he was like the perfect candidate. So the second time, though, people took him more seriously than they should have. So should they be taking him seriously right now?
That he's going to run.
Because he still does have the ear of some of the crazies. He's not obsolete.
Herschel Walker for VP. The two of them couldn't do a speech together to save their lives.
It's like alphabet running with a Scrabble box just full of random letters. You never know. The Spirit Within. That's what I thought. Thank you. Okay.
There's chaos, mayhem, and pandemonium. Look at him. Look at him.
I get a yes, they should be, because there's a power struggle involved here, because the Republicans are going to end up going the same road. They're going to get burdened by all his lies. And it'll give more strength to Obama if they don't walk away now. It will just blow up their party even more. So yes, they should be taking it seriously that because he came from behind before, he'll do it again.
I asked if they should take him seriously. I got the mountain, the fish, and the bear. That says yes. This guy's going to be a huge obstacle to money. Some sort of financing. So either through donations, which we've already seen him do it to Herschel Walker. He's doing it. He's done it the whole time. Oh, donate for these candidates. And he's taking 90% of the money and giving them like 10%. So he's going to become a problem when it comes to money and for them to claim and get the majority. And then I asked, how is he going to present a problem? I get the garden, the crossroads, and the key. He's going to split the party. And because the fish sits in the middle, that's independence. So if he doesn't win, guess what? I'm going to run independent, and that shaves off Republicans from crowding behind whatever nominee they decide to prop up. He takes away. Does that make sense? So yeah, take him seriously, but y'all got Cheeto herpes, man. Good luck with that.
First card I get, confirmation. Yes, should take him seriously. There is the sun. I do have a follow-up question to this, though. The 9 of Cups and the 6 of Swords, there's going to be some trouble transition and some wishful thinkings. There also may be some wishes granted, too. So there's your split, because you're trying to move forward, but he's still taking what he wanted in the first place. But now this leads to my follow-up question, though, because there's the Moon and the 9 of Swords. He should also be very, very worried about some treachery, about something underneath the surface. The Moon does not reveal all of the details because they're being hidden on purpose. It's the dark, after all. So what I want to know is, will the GOP, the traditional GOP, will they conspire against Donald Trump and sabotage his run?
They all conspired against him the first time and couldn't get him knocked out in the primaries. They were all trash talking him because there's so many clips of Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham and everybody trash talking him. They can't knock him out. And the more he opens his mouth, the more he tells about crimes he committed.
I get a yes. I get the birds, the ship, and the storks. They're already talking and negotiating on how they can distance themselves and put that crap behind them. This is just my personal opinion. I guarantee you right now, they're trying to figure out how to hope and pray with a voodoo doll that Donald Trump is indicted soon to clean their hands of him while still capitalizing on the anger from their base to use that for their own gain. So cleaning their hands of him with an advantage, if that makes sense. So it's not like they'll come out and do him like Julius Caesar, but do you see what I'm saying? But I get that they're already discussing and negotiating how to move away from him, like just distance, like move on.
Yeah,
so.
They're already like trying to figure out how to backstab him, put him out in the cold from their support. But they're being
you got the backstabbing card? You got the Julius Caesar card?
The Julius Caesar one?
Yeah.
Oh, the
10 of Swords. Yeah.
10 of Swords, on the bottom, like backstab the crap out of him. They're trying to figure out how to put him out in the cold from their support. But, he's a surprising manipulator. They need to look at things differently because just backstabbing him is going to make him stronger. It doesn't work. They're anxious about all the court things that are going to bring changes and everything. But again, it's going to break up the Republican Party, and it will actually end up helping Biden. Right.
Yes. Page of Swords, Ace of Swords. There will be some, this is your spies, your lies, your gossip. There's your Ace of Swords, your confirmation. But yes, that is what they want to do. However, the Fool with the Lovers and the Knight of Cups, this is a romanticism of Donald Trump. He has no substance. This is all in the head. So there's nothing he did for you that you can point back and say, this was better because Trump was here. No. So this is a romanticism. That is why this is harder, because people vote by feelings instead of by their own actual needs. Because he came out and said, I don't like Mexicans. And all the people said, yeah, me neither. And then they voted for him. He didn't tell you one single solitary thing on that campaign trail of what he was going to actually be able to do. I'm going to build a wall and force them to pay for it. That means nothing. How about they pay for it?
And then he sat there in his announcement and bragged that he got the wall built. It's like, no, you got a little bitty section that blew down. You didn't build any wall.
He gave him a promise, Johnny. I allow you to be openly bigoted with no repercussions.
Yeah.
Because the only way that crap works is when you otherize another person. So whether it be blacks, Mexicans, gays, Jews, name it, they're going to have a target on their back. And he gave him permission and said, yeah, that's okay. It's totally fine.
And here's your guns. Go at it.
Yeah.
So let's switch all the way to Jack Smith. First, I want to go with Garland. What was his purpose for a special counsel? Because as Ari Melber told us, all of this still has to come back to him. Merrick Garland still has the decision that needs to be made. Everything Jack Smith does or recommends or whatever still goes back to Merrick Garland. So why are we going around the bush, going around our elbow to get to our wrist, as they used to say? Why all of this? What was the purpose?
Meanwhile, Mueller was a Republican. Comey was a Republican. So Republicans have taken Trump down a notch also. Everybody that's testified to the January 6th committee, Republicans. So Republicans have been knocking him down too. They need to get over this, that it's Democrats, going after him and everything. No, the Republicans are the ones taking him down. It's his own party. We may be behind getting the investigations going, but it's actually Republicans that are causing him problems. That's what I get. It's a he wants, this is the traditional old way of doing it to make sure that there's support for what is done. And so Republicans in secret can't say anything. There's an abundance of information to go through. And he thinks that Jack Smith has all the tools to do this and will look at things a little bit differently, may catch some things that he didn't, but will make it in a way that people on both sides of the aisles will have to admit that he did a good job completing this.
I got Cloverman, Bear, Child, Birds, Fox, and Lilies. An opportunity for him, because he's the executive, the boss, to look at this with fresh and clean new eyes, and then to have someone on the job that has the experience. But also because central to the reading is the child. It's the mirrors are Clover, Child, and Lilies. He wanted this to be very clean so that there's no room for any gossip that, oh, this was manipulated, this was a hoax, this is a fraud, like completely, utterly clean from a person that is well respected, a good judge of character, and kind of high up because it ends on the Lilies. Let me see. And then it's Clover, Bear, Birds, and Lilies. Yeah. Clean. He wants it to just be clean and respected. So, what I get.
A part of me feels like they have the case he wants or the case he needs, but he needs to appear impartial. The Three of Pentacles, there's your dark money, your collaborations. He's worried about maybe the image of how that looks. The Five of Cups, there would be some worry and some regrets in the media about his job or about his work. So there would be some questions about, because they're already saying this is an attack anyway, the witch hunt dance that they keep trying to do, because that's what the other side wants, is just to say this is an attack, this is erratic, this is irrational, this is that type of thing.
This is vengeance.
So there's some balance and some moderation is how it ends. And so I'm giving it to him. He's going to come back, he'll give it to me, and then I can say, based upon what this is, facts, here's the whatever it is that we're going to do.
And for all the people in the back that are screaming that this is a political witch hunt, how about you go take home some top secret classified documents to your house? How about that? And see how well you fare. If you think there's nothing wrong with it, you know?
So
Everybody else ends up in jail over it.
How, let's see, should I ask it this way? Jack Smith, I don't want to say his intentions towards the investigation, but will he, I want to say intentions, because I want to know, is he down the middle? Is he really going to call this as it is? Is he going to show some sort of favoritism? Is he going to ignore certain things? Or
is he a straight shooter? Like, is he a straight shooter? Like,
will he, however you want to word it. I'm going to ask about his intentions with this investigation. Because he just returned from The Hague, where he has prosecuted world leaders before, apparently. Okay.
hearing things along with my cards that are cracking me up. He's got an abundance of information to go through because they've had this grand jury going on for ages and stuff. He's already got an abundance. I heard, throw everything up on the wall and see what sticks. So he's going to look at everything very thoroughly and see what he has the most proof to stick a charge. So he'll take everything in, look at all the details, but he wants to know what charges structurally can stick, and that includes Trump. He does have a little bit of an old-fashioned way of doing things with that sense of nostalgia, so he's by the book. And he wants to, the timing with America, he wants America to see that he's being fair and honest too. He wants America to look at it differently, like everybody. So messaging, he's going to be very careful about, because he doesn't want, he's a little nervous about like how he'll say things when he messages it. He will ask a lot of difficult questions, and he will get into all the treason and treachery and everything, but he's going to be a fair man. When I get the King of Cups, that's a fair person.
I pulled a double line of 5, so I'll just give you the quick and dirty. His motivations, by the book, by the law, period. People that came and visited the Capitol, because it's Ryder, Key, and Tower, visitors to the Capitol for a party, the rally with the garden. He's got the answers in his hand for the perhaps what the committee has, as well as the documents. He has the answers, and he's by the book for the law. Case closed. So his motivations, he's sticking to the law. If the answer is there, which it looks like he has it in his hand, it moves forward, if that makes sense.
So I asked, what are the intentions? First card I got was the devil, and then the 2 of Wands. So this is plannings, strategizing. There's something here too about I can't say criminal because I don't have any justice cards, but I do have the Hierophant. So he is very traditional, by the book, stick to the rules type person. He is very successful, though. So I don't know what his record is in The Hague, but he's very, very successful when it comes to closing something. But whatever these plans are, it is to get to the bottom of this. This incorporates a whole bunch of crap because I clarified it and I got this. So this doesn't really help all that much. It's just a bunch of garbage that he is trying to get to the bottom to. Now, mind you, with the tower too, this is forced exposure too. So there's something about whatever he is trying to get to the bottom to, or bottom of.
What's binding?
It's being hidden for criminal purposes. Mind you, that's why the devil's torch is down, trying to hide his passions type thing. So there's something that he has to uncover, which does bring me to my third question on this, because there is some talking in leadership. There's also, this is a...
We looking at you, Secret Service. Oops, we just did everything. We're looking at you,
Mark Meadows.
Sitting members of Congress that were all in on the coup,
That tower card for me too is about, especially when it comes out first card, it's about letting go of what no longer serves you and hanging on to what you can stick to somebody legally.
I wonder how many people are shaking their boots right now. Because it's like why
how
did
many need a diaper change?
Why did they think this was a good idea? And I know Johnny's going to say Medusa, but come on now. Like, you got to be a next level of stupid to be in law for that long and be like, a coup sounds like a great idea.
I mean, because how are you going to get away with all that?
How are you going to grab power and then hold it when you did so illegally?
We outnumber you, as you know, in the popular vote. Every 2 years you see the popular vote goes Democrat. You would have such an uprising in this country if you tried to stage it.
And it's not even that. He probably thought the Supreme Court would just wave it off like, oh yeah, you lost the election, but you stole it. Totally cool. Here.
Are you going to do like Iran and lock up everybody that's protesting over the women's rights?
Yeah.
No, not in this country. You are outnumbered.
He probably would have. He probably, Trump being as sick in the head as he is.
Well, he wanted to. They had a private police force.
Yeah.
Well, let's remember, we also have the youth vote. They got the old farts with 1 foot in a grave that are in.
I just saw a report today of how many Republicans died during COVID. It was staggering. Yeah. It's like y'all killed off half your base over an orange herpes, so.
So back to Jack Smith.
Sorry.
What I want to know is what challenges will he face in this investigation? What are his main obstacles, his hurdles, if you will? Tell him to get an astrologer too.
Yeah, I did see briefly. Andre from Astrology Alert was trying to find his birthday. He can't find his birthday anywhere online to look at his astrology against Trump's. It'll be out there soon. People that went to school with him will give up his birthday. They just told me stop. Security that was lost. Because there's still supporters of Trump's around, like in DOJ and stuff. Security that was lost and how to move forward patiently, calmly, carefully. He is going to find treason there, and that's going to stick. Again, how he messages it to America, he's got to be very careful. very, very careful. But he'll be fair and balanced. Does that make sense? And I saw this on the bottom. I'm like, he's walking a fine line. He's going to protect himself, but also protect the country. He's worried about national security.
I get the anchor, child, Lily's tree, and then man. His greatest challenge may be something to do with little people that are purist. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, perhaps the organizational chart and how they fit into the overall role that they were supposed to play. Do you see what I'm saying? Like nailing that down, establishing how this wing of the little white supremacists that rolled in, how they were organized, their organizational chart, and who was supposed to be doing what. There's possibly
a one-eyed Stewie Rhodes in a tunnel.
not just a Stewie Rhodes. I don't remember if Stewie Rhodes is Oath Keepers or Proud Boys.
He's Oath Keepers, yeah.
Central to the reading is the lilies. That's the King of Spades. So there might be a person there that, with the anchor, the lilies, and the man, there's a person here who might have an established career as a veteran. He might become an issue, but I don't know if Mike Flynn was involved with the Peanut Butter Boys or what. But
yeah, he was at the meeting the night before at the hotel.
Well, there's and I get man at the end of the reading, so I'm just looking at the pip. I could be wrong, but it's establishing. I don't see the link, but establishing how it was organized, perhaps top to bottom, like the org chart, if that makes sense. So that's and
who was ultimately in charge of organizing it all.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ace of Swords, Four of Pentacles. There is information this is, of course, the hardest part of any investigation, though, is information, how to pry it from those who are conserving it with the Four of Pentacles. I had to clarify this card. I got the Queen of Wands, and it's one of two people, because it's the Four of Cups. He's having a hard time either with a judge or a person who was trying to organize something and was doing it very poorly. So there's someone that the paper trail may lead to, and I clarified with the Page of Wands and then the Ten of Cups, so neither one of them helped. There might be both, but there's someone here that was trying to organize some details, possibly around the documents with the Page of Wands, the things that talk. So there may be something around the documents, someone who was organizing something, or an actual judge too. I don't know. Oh, it could be the canon lady, maybe, or the
could be
who signed off that you got everything.
Because he's over the documents that were stolen, but also with January 6th, it could be like Clarence Thomas and Jenny and that whole connection.
There's some sort of judge he's having some issues with here, and a person who was helping to organize something. The Nine of Cups and the Eight of Swords. So there's also some people who are trying to just obstruct and cut off and be limited. So his main obstacle, at least in here, is just trying to pry information out of somebody.
If he's willing to take down political leaders and stuff at the Hague, he's not going to back off of somebody no matter how high up they are. So, to your question, will he, Jack Smith, pronouns, pal, will he, Jack Smith, and through his investigation, find information or uncover information that could lead to the indictment of sitting members of Congress? So through his investigation, will he find info that could lead to the indictment of sitting members of Congress? Because I said this to the other day.
I want people to have more of a tempered reaction to this. This is, yes, a big deal and so forth and so forth. But I don't want us to think this is going to be the home run that we're all looking for. Because even though, you know, it sounds great, this still could end in a nothing burger type thing.
The cool thing too is it will enable him to have his own staff under him like Mueller did, with people that can specialize in, okay, this is obstruction, here's the money trail, here's this. Like he can hire his own people
And
if he needs to.
Ari Melber said that he has no supervisor. So there is no one, he's the one watching over his shoulder. So he doesn't have to constantly get things cleared if he wants to do something.
Yeah, by
So
borrowing prison.
he's got some autonomy.
And he's not starting from scratch. Mueller had to start from scratch, and it took him 9 months, I think it was. So I got to think, you know, even though this is huge because there's so many tentacles, I got to think within 6 months we'll know something about.
Well, that's one of my other questions too. Will this drag on forever?
See if we can get a timing later. Okay, I need room to spread. Thank you. Yes.
That's my first card. Reading over.
People in higher positions. Rather quickly, but I'm also hearing like 6 to 8. 6 to 8 that are going to be put out in the cold, or 5 to 8 because this is a 5 card. 5 to 8. He's going to go after him. He's going to have Merrick Garland backing him up on it. Yes, I'm stopping there. Can I have my hand back so I can shuffle?
Stephen, hold on to your question. I have a thing I want to try in the chat when we get towards the end. Yeah, my first card was the Sun, and that was, yes, Ace of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. There is the giving of this information for plans, for future plans. So again, he's not indicting anyone. He's just like, here, like Mueller did, here's this. Go forth and do what you will.
Mueller did indict some because he indicted Flynn. He had sealed indictments, like 14 sealed indictments. So he had a grand jury. He did indict some.
Thank you, Magenta. So will this drag on forever? Or is this something that will be wrapped up before 2024?
I'm going to ask it this way. Will it take less time than the Mueller report to come out? You're grabbing my cards. Are you going to pull? It's going to grow. I'm hearing that right up. It's going to grow. It's going to have more tentacles than what Garland's already uncovered. He's going to burden somebody by Christmas. So whether that's this Christmas or next Christmas, I feel like it's this Christmas. He's gonna have somebody quick that we're gonna hear about really, really quick, and then it's gonna slow down a little bit. I'm getting both my Christmas cards. I feel like it's gonna take him about 1 year to get all the details, all the work done.
I asked, would it go on forever? I get no. 5 of Cups is no. And the hardest part is cooperation. 2 of Pentacles, 2 of Cups. So that's his hurdle, is basically getting possibly a larger case. But I think, like I said before, this is not in the cards. It's just what I think. I think they have enough to do whatever it is they really need to do. It's just they need a third party to come and say, hey, DOJ, here you go. Because 2024, and mind you, Merrick Garland even brought up the fact that such and such is running for president again, which is kind of why this is being sped up the way it is. And so
can we ask, will Jack Smith directly indict Trump? Or will he pass it over to Garland to do? He just looks like such a serious man. He looks like the kind of man that could stay up for 17 hours reading report after report after report and be back at work at 7 a.m. at it again and retain everything he reads. He just has that kind of energy about him. Wow, all these people. He's definitely going to be victorious and burdening the crap out of him. And I do feel like he will indict him, but I feel like it will be done under agreement so that there's no regrets. And it'll be a direct indictment on Trump for his theft and for starting the insurrection. There will be Republicans involved too. And then I have a whole bunch of people. And then I have trying to end his power grab, like I'm running for president again, trying to end that. I do think he'll go after him, but he's going to do it under agreement with other people. Like I even think Biden may be aware, like, hey, we're going to indict him.
I get that the chances are widening that he's going to indict him over something that was stolen. Because I get the mice, the clover, and the elk. It's starting off with thievery.
Documents.
So the documents. That's the easiest one to get him on.
It would take him out of running for office.
And the chances are expanding, widening. They're vast. So I get a yes.
I get someone else does it, but here's the Page of Pentacles, and the 7 of Pentacles has something to do with those documents, though. And the Tower and the 6 of Wands, it's like it goes to whoever is sitting pretty, whoever's in charge, I guess. But this grows a lot. Like this involves a lot more people than just Donald Trump.
Like it expands?
Yes.
Yeah, I get that too with the stars. It expands.
There's your
I
expansion.
had it in the last spread. It grows.
There's a lot more on the way. Okay, well, let's switch gears again. Everybody's favorite CEO, Elon Musk. Karen,
Can
I
I,
would,
can
I would say convoy. It's Conroy, right?
can I please put out a wish out there? Just a wish, and we can all work together to light a candle and manifest this. So since how we've seen Elon Musk trash Twitter in like 2 weeks, can he please buy Fox News? Please, for the love of God. And
That's what I thought. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay. What was my question? I don't even think I had a question.
You were switching gears to Elon.
No, I wasn't actually. His name popped out of my mouth. Maybe there was a question there, but then no. Twitter's future is what I wanted to look at.
He's trying to get all these investors in it now, even though he took it private. Beth Cat from chat asked me, is he trying to take Twitter down deliberately? Because he's like mismanaged it right from the get-go.
Thank you, Joseph. So Twitter's future. That was my question. What is it? What's coming for Twitter in the coming months or year?
Wait, he said he's going to hire a new CEO. It's like, yeah, you better do something because you're done effed up your company.
And then we'll go on the social media vein.
Thanks for repeating our questions, Karen. Karen and I had a good giggle last night. We were texting videos to each other on all the puke takes Stephen Colbert has done on his show. He's so good at it. Anybody need to lighten their energy, go watch Stephen Colbert on his puke takes. Future Twitter.
How not to run a company. That's what he's.
He's getting a lot of people abandoning it because he, stated, I think it was Friday or yesterday, that he was letting Trump back on. Again, he's got a lot of people walking away from it. I think he's going to end up having to sell it for less than he paid for it. I think he's going to end up offering it up to sale, for sale to somebody else and dump it, trashed it, dumped it.
I get that they're conversing or interviewing for a change of executives. So I got the birds, the storks, the bear. There's a decision to sort of break him off from that union. So, and because it's Scythe and Ring. So I think they might be shopping for a new executive. There's people that are cutting out. They're cutting out. It's not going to be successful. Sun and Scythe, it's not going to be successful. So
I get the 9 of Wands and the 6 of Swords. Not the best of combinations. The 9 of Wands is tenacity, though, the strength to carry on, the strength to carry through. There's a lot of strain here as well. And then the 6 of Swords is the troubled transition through the stormy seas to the calm of water type thing. Here's the problem: is this is not a new company. So this is what you usually get with new companies, because there's a lot of crap you got to do and a lot of crap you got to go through with the Nine of Wands and the Six of Swords. You have to climb up the hill, like running a restaurant. They say you don't make any money in the first year and that type of thing. So this is that type of energy. This should not be here for a company that has been here since who knows how long, right? So this is not a good sign, because you should not be in that much trouble when things were already in place. You just bought it, you didn't start it. And so the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands, there's a lot of talking to people up at the top about what to do, because I think now he realizes maybe that he doesn't quite have all the answers.
Now hiring CEO that can rescue a failing company. Was worth 44 billion. Now, not so much.
There's regrets and indecisions. Indecisions leads to inaction. Inaction leads to loss. And so with the regret card, 5 of Cups and the 2 of Swords, this is also not where you want to be, because why don't you know what to do? Like this is the horrible interpretation of the Fool, of the person who just dashed out,
Jumped out.
no plan, has no backup plan, has no materials, has no nothing, said, I'm going to build this company from the ground up.
And jumped off the cliff.
And didn't have anything. And so it's like, what do you do?
He had nothing but his ego.
Word of warning, there is isolation. So I think he may be going through some mental anguish. That's not funny. He may be going through some mental anguish right now, because his team, the King of Swords, Queen of Swords, they've all been debilitated, mind you, by him. So it's not like, he was some eccentric billionaire and they just didn't get him. No, you were being an active jerk. And so this is not good. And so the future of Twitter, it may be in somebody else's hands, and it'll probably do a little bit better then, but right now. But that brings me to Truth Social and Donald Trump. Actually, because Donald Trump has been allowed back to Twitter if he chooses to do so, because Elon Musk has reinstated his account. He said the vote is in, or something. I don't know. I guess he took a poll, and the people on Twitter who participated in the poll said to reinstate Donald Trump. So he has done so. But Donald Trump then said, you know what? I'm not interested. It's not a thing that I want to do right now, because they got so many bots and this and this and this. Meanwhile, he has his own thing that he was trying to start. So what I want to know is, what is the future of Donald Trump and Truth Social? Will he eventually go back to Twitter, or is he stuck where he is?
You got to believe his investors are like, we will sue the crap out of you if you leave Truth Social to go back to Twitter. He wants to go over there. He's got unfinished work on Twitter. I want to go over there. I really want my Twitter back. You can't flush the tweets, so when you tell on yourself over there, they live forever. Money versus being able to reach more Americans. Delays and indecision, but that nostalgia of Twitter is luring me in. I really want to be back over there. I think he'll go back to Twitter. I think he will betray his own company, and that'll be a big loss for Truth Social. Moving on.
Will he go back on Twitter? House, Fish, and Sun. It's looking like a yes. Where the many are, or he's got more than his own little home base. But there's some Fish is sitting in the middle of that read. There's some shopping that needs to happen. So I don't know if that means he needs to pay investors for Truth Social or investors, advertisers on Twitter that will skedaddle if he gets in there. There's some shopping going around, some business.
I had the Temperance. I think their Temperance and the Four of Swords and Seven of Swords, their relationship is on rocky terms with him and Truth Social right now. So he may be in a position or coming up to be in a position where he may have an out some way or another. I've always thought, though, that they're going to replace him as the figurehead with somebody else. The Empress and the Two of Wands, there's new plans, brand new plans. So they're going back to the drawing board on something. So the door is opening little by little for him to go back to Twitter if he chooses to.
He doesn't care if he bankrupts another company. He doesn't care. It's not his money.
It's the thing, I think, with the Truth Social is with all his other companies. He didn't care. He's not trying to start a social media company. This is a place to hide money. And so once it becomes obsolete, then he can, like Trump Water and Trump State, Trump Airline, Trump Magazine, Trump University, Trump Casino, Trump everything else. It's just a place to hide money.
So I got a follow-up question. Did Elon want him back on Twitter because the controversy would create a lot of traffic in his mind? Because, bad publicity is as good as good publicity. Did he want Trump back on to get people riled up and create more interactions?
That's why. Why did he want it back?
Why did he want Trump back on? I can see him calling him up and saying, "Hey, I need you over on Twitter."
Ten of Pentacles flew out.
I need the controversy. Because every day Trump was trending about something on Twitter when he was on Twitter. Every freaking day.
Sales.
I don't think it has anything to do with freedom of speech.
No. Because like I keep saying, though, freedom of speech protects you from the government censoring you, not Twitter. Twitter is not the government. Twitter is a company, just like any other. Like if YouTube right now wants to shut all this down that I'm doing right here, they can do so. Yep. I'm on their platform. They're not on mine.
Kind of like when you go to the stores and it says no shoes, no shirt, no service. Same thing.
There's Trump on the bottom. It's like it's all about he's trying to grow Twitter and make money. It's all about the money. So yes, he thought Trump being back there would help him manifest more advertisers, more money, more everything. All about the money.
I asked, why does he want him back on Twitter? Crossroads, birds, mice, storks, and dog. Chaos. Absolute chaos and anxiety and nervousness and just problems because the mice is sitting in the middle. And then a change or an improvement on people that are loyal. So perhaps an increase in the Twitter
subscribers,
because birds mirrors the storks. So birds Twitter increases, but central to that reading, it's the mice. It's like if anything, you're going to lose people on Twitter because I don't think Elon Musk realizes. Like Johnny always says, they seem like they're bigger because they're louder. It's really just a tiny, small portion of the entire population. But what I get.
I got money to manipulation, money, and success. He thinks that will bring success to Twitter. Again, this is why you should not be running your own company.
I didn't get anything like Ace of Swords, speaking truth or anything like that, or allowing freedom of speech or laws or whatever. It's money.
I'm going to try a YouTube feature here. I don't know exactly how this works. Just wait. Let me do this. If this is what I think it is, then never mind. Am I the only person that sees the testing? Oh, there it is. So the rest of the chat went away. Oh, there's now just questions. Now, how do you post a question?
Like doing
Can y'all type? Can anybody type in there?
Kind of like doing a survey, but
no, it's a question and answer thing. So if I wanted to take, oh, there it is. I see.
Wait,
Elon stupid as he looks? So there's one question. Okay, so there's a hello. Okay, how you doing? I'm doing fantastic, thank you. So I don't know what it looks like on y'all's end.
it says question sent when I type in a question.
Yes. It says, why does Rover break things? I see.
Yeah, I'm just testing a question to see what it looks like.
Okay. So I'll try to do that in the future. So we'll ask that one. We'll 45 delay Jack Smith's investigation, and then it goes back to chat. Okay, good. Okay. So we'll 45
when you pick
delay.
it goes away.
Yes, it went away because I put in. Thank you, Beatrice.
Okay. Well, 45 what?
Delay Jack Smith's investigation. No, it doesn't organize the questions.
That's the work he does all the time, over and over. That's his pattern. Nostalgia, what he always does to try to constrict things. Leaving work unfinished. Yep. He will try to delay him. It won't work. The delays will end up being more obstruction. It's like, surprise, we're coming after you anyway. You're obstructing, and judgment, trying to be in control of it. You're.
Thank you, Patricia.
I get the ring, whip, and child. Yes, it's a routine pattern.
By a child.
He's a one-trick pony. That's the only thing he has. But it's going to revolve around arguments. Kind of like the crap he's pulling right now with the guy in Florida, the special master that he wanted, and now he has it. And now they're fighting the
Gary.
Now he doesn't want it because now he's got somebody smart looking at the case instead of the
and all the stuff they keep bringing up to Gary. Gary keeps smacking it down. Like, what are you doing? Like this is, stop. But yeah. But is it going to slow it down? No. He'll try, but no.
I think it will it's around the arguments or the talking part, the page of wands, the messaging. So that's the part where he obstructs. Will he delay? I don't get a delay because there's still success within the party that's investigating. And the Queen of Swords and the Magician. I think Jack Smith is, again, I try to tip her myself because I don't want to say, oh, yay, special, blah, 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 and then go get him, Tiger, and then he does nothing. But at the same time, the Queen of Swords is a person who has a lot of experience in what they're doing because they've been through the ringer, they've been through the everything. He's talked to Donald Trump-like people before. And so what Trump does not say can still be filled in. So he has a back way. Again, the magician is the person of skill, talent, and power. They can literally do anything because they have all 4 suits at their disposal. You just need to know what to put where. But I think he has every tool he needs to get this done. The Queen of Swords is no fool, so it'll be just fine. Like I say, too, with the tarot, don't pay so much attention to the astrological sign of the Queen of Swords nor the gender. Pay attention how it behaves. And so this person's very experienced, very capable. So I don't worry about him versus Trump. I think I just worry about him versus time. That's my only thing.
So to reiterate, ring, whip, and child temper tantrum. There you go. Temper tantrum. It's not going to go anywhere.
Okay. We got 10 minutes or so. I have 35 questions, so we're not going to get to all of them. So I'm going to have to go live, I think, again at some point. Or maybe I'll just record all this. I don't know. Anyway, let's look at, though, Hakeem Jeffries before we go.
This one out because I'm very biased against Hakeem Jeffries. So I'll set this one out. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. He is being thrown in the hat or thrown in the ring or thrown in the whatever the expression is. His hat's been thrown in the ring to be the new leader of the Democrats. So how likely is that?
Adam Schiff has said that he's not going to run in 2024, so it looks like he's going to go for Feinstein's seat in the Senate.
I hope so, because Feinstein has no idea what planet she's on. She's gone, like gone. And that's one of my.
Is she in her 90s?
Yeah, but like her mind is gone. Like she doesn't even know what the hell they're talking about half the time, making statements that's like, you don't need to be there, lady. Like you don't.
So we have our own Herschel Walker.
But for hers, it's age related, you know.
Thank you, Gigi.
Wait, what's the question?
How likely is he to be the new leader?
I start gibby-gabbing and I get forgetful.
Karen's got us on track. You know, I was doing the reading with Hogarth and Lady G yesterday, and they only do an hour, and I'm thinking, geez, my cards are not even warmed up yet. We're already done. He said, I have 7 questions, and I'm thinking, is that enough? You got have 35, and we never get to it.
We do a lot of questions, though, on our Sunday nights. We get to a lot of them.
Like, Lord. It's 2 hours.
I don't think he'll get it. He wants the job. I think he may even have Nancy's support, you know, like her endorsement, so to speak. A little bit of a timing thing here for him, but I don't think he'll get it. I don't think he'll get enough votes. Holy shit, the major arcana that just came out. I get there's some sort of manipulation going on with the Republicans. There's going to be some revisiting of who the leaders are, because I get some people are out in the cold for some treachery and maybe didn't have enough votes. I've always said we're going to have control of the House. I know that's impossible now, but I keep getting it. I get things are just going to get all blown up, and there'll be healing, and I get the sun more illumination on this. Look at the major arcana. It's just crazy. Can we ask real quick what's going to happen in the House? Like, why do we keep getting that the Dems are going to have control of the House?
I get the Chariot. So there is some, you need to pull some sides together. The Chariot can win any race, but you have to get the opposites to a track. So this is within the party, mind you, because there are two Democratic parties too. They're just not nuts like the MAGA thing, so it doesn't stand out as much. This is more of, when we talk amongst ourselves type thing. But there is something with timing, but it's not impossible. I don't get a yes or no, though. I get the 8 of Swords and the High Priestess. There's still things that need to be worked out here. But like the Chariot suggests, there's things that still need to be worked out. You still need to pull the sides together. But what I will say is the good part is that his name is there. And so if you need to pull sides together, then this is the common goal we're working for. So we don't have a list of 88 people. We have a list of maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And so he is at the front. So hopefully.
He may be later with that Wheel of Fortune. That implies to me it's a timing thing that maybe later he might end up.
So is there something going on in the House that control may flip, may change, may look different? I have a very petty question.
I got 2 petty questions.
I'm here for the petty.
That's where we're going next. We got 5 minutes. One of them's a picture, so I have to do show and tell.
I'm getting there's going to be a power struggle. I'm getting that there's something sneaky going on with the votes in the government, and I get like there's big changes coming, trying to secure justice for this, so there may be some things going to court over it, but I get there may be some fighting and a power struggle. That's crazy.
So, Jen's question. And should we do yours first? Well, let's do yours. Let's do yours after mine.
I got 2 funny ones.
So, very petty. I know. For all those super religious people, turn your head. Okay. In this picture here, where they were all praying for Donald Trump, what I want to know is what was going through the mind of spirit at that point, because that's where your prayers are supposed to go. They go upwards. When this was happening, knowing who this person is and that this would absolutely change nothing about who he is.
When they're touching Medusa, laying on hands, and sending up.
What was going through the mind of spirit at that moment? Was he busy watching Matlock, as I always say? Or what was happening? Like who? I don't know him. I'm sorry. Be gone from me, you worker of iniquity, for I knew you not.
A lot of clinging. And I get Spirit. Spirit was quite secure, but there were a lot of changes that were going on energetically, fighting, and this is our celebrity that we're putting forward. And I get chaos in our judicial system. Power struggle and thievery, stealing power.
I get the ring, the cross, the whip, and the mountain. The spirit was like, y'all came into contact with some Cheeto herpes. Stay the hell away from me. Because with the whip, it's like sex, and it's painful. Contact, painful sex.
You all got the Cheeto herpes.
All of y'all got the itchies and scratches now. I got Donald Trump, King of Swords, go away. I'm watching Matlock. It's like, I want nothing to do with whatever y'all got going on. Very confused. This because there's something underneath the surface of this. This is not pure. You're not praying for him. You know you're not praying.
Pure
for him.
intention.
You're definitely not praying to me for him. You're trying to be seen. That's all this is.
Cheeto herpes. That's what I gotta say.
Y'all wasn't praying for that, man. Y'all just want to be on the news.
Well,
So Becca, what was your question?
Yeah, that's right, Translator. We need to call Dr. Fauci because we got everybody's infected now.
No, call Dr. Oz. I'm sure
He's got the miracle drugs.
He's got a cure for something like that.
So,
And he needs a job.
Jen's question.
I got
In a parallel universe, has Donald Trump already been indicted?
Because there's parallel universes going on right now that we're all living in a different world. Has he already been indicted in a parallel universe?
Something flew out. He's fighting an abandonment. High priestess.
I get the parallel universe. He has already been offered, indictments, and not only had them, he has gotten quite emotional and erratic, and is probably locked up in a little padded cell somewhere. That's okay. Take your time there, Donald. You'll get it together.
I got the tree, the snake, and the mice. No, in the parallel universe, he's blind. So a cockroach, a rat. He has not been indicted because he's not human.
He's back to a lower being.
I get no because he might be interred. He may be on hole 2 of someone's golf course.
Tickets to the park.
There was some sort of incident, and he may be on hole 2. There you go.
So I have another question, real quick. Becca, feel free to pull out your Melania impersonation. What does Melania think of Trump blaming her for endorsing Dr. Oz?
I didn't know he did that.
He blamed Melania.
Why is it her fault?
He blamed because he can't blame himself. When Oz lost, he blamed Melania for talking him into endorsing Dr. Oz. Like Melania told him, you must go and endorse this fabulous doctor from New Jersey.
Just let you in timeout. Tickets to the hole. I don't even know why I asked that question. Why is he blaming her? Why does he blame anybody for anything? But
Because he can't take responsibility himself. He couldn't think of anybody else to blame for Dr. Oz, so he blamed Melania. What'd you get, Becca?
I got the clouds, mountain, snake, coffin, and whip. Can I get any more bad cards? Okay. That stupid motherfucker thinks he's going to blame me. He doesn't know what the fuck is going on in his head. He's got his dead wife sitting in the golf course over there. I don't care. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. You know, his crotch is always itching, and it's like, ooh, don't touch me. I cannot believe I slept with that man. Now he's got herpes. I have herpes. Everybody has herpes.
She gets a herpes.
Fucking goddamn liar. I hate him. I cannot wait for him to die. I'm going to shit him. I'm going to shit on his grave. That's what I get.
I guess she's gonna hang on, because she sees his support, like everything blew apart. She's feeling like he's dumping it on her because he gets away with that. So burdening her, that's what he gets away with. I get they had an argument about it, and I get that she won, but I get she's waiting on him to go, and then she's probably going to plant him on the golf course somewhere. She's going to move where he's planted.
I got the whip, and you just said, they got into a fight. It's like, I beat him until he's stupid. Did I make him smart? I beat him.
Until his Cheetos was Cheeto dust.
Well, we know she ain't afraid of him. If you ever seen her get a good hand slap in there.
I push him down the stairs next time like Ivana.
Ask Elaine Chow how to do that. I'm pretty sure
and then stand there and stare at him.
Because he is so fat, I don't know how, but I push him down the stairs with a broom. I don't want to touch him.
She's used to it because he's childish, and listen, you hitched your wagon to that get along, so hey, you got to take everything it gives you.
Like I said, she went over there digging for gold, and she struck a sewer line, man. Like, I'm telling you.
My father had a T-shirt a long time ago, and it had a man on it with this giant beak type thing. It
like
says,
the plague doctors? Like that?
Yeah, but it was just a giant nose.
Oh,
and because that was the point of the shirt. It was digging for gold and came up with boogers. So
In Melania's case, she was digging for gold and hit the sewer. So There you go, sweetheart. There you go.
So on that note, though, thank you all for coming out.
Already with the goat farmer, Baba the goat herder. I leave him for Baba the goat herder.
He would have beat Dr. Oz.
So next week we will be on Jen's channel, and I will try to go live at some point because, like I said, we had a jillion questions. I'll try to go. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Tomorrow, though, Lori from the Way of Positive Change is her birthday, so go over there at 3 p.m. Eastern. And no Southern goodbyes because I actually need to get up right now. So I will see y'all next week. Bye-bye.